Hello friends, welcome back after a long time. In the coming weeks, we are going to see how to design and how to install the drainage system for a super high-rise building project with one real case study. So due to the very lengthy consideration of the video, I have divided into multiple parts. So today we are going to start from the very first part, that is we are going to see the basics of the drainage system. So when it comes to drainage system for the super high-rise building, there are plenty of pipes arrangement will be there. Like we have the waste pipe, we have the soil pipes, then we have the balcony drain pipes, we have the vent pipes for the soil and waste pipe because of the we need to perform the vending for the soil and waste for that one. Then we have the condensate drain pipe coming from the AC unit, and we have the condensate drain pipe. We need to talk about the FCU, we have the FAHU. So all this one will have the condensate drain pipe. In one of the video in the future we will see how to find out the condensate drain pipe flow rate also from the HVAC unit, from FAHU and FCU. Then backpass line from swimming pool. So swimming pool, from the pump room we have the backpass filter line, so that also will be there. Then we have the planted drain. In the landscaping area we have the planted drain. We have the jacuzzi drain pipe because in some of the high-rise building project, the luxury projects, we have the jacuzzi pool in individual apartments balcony area. So that also there will be separate line for the jacuzzi drain pipe. It will be a pressure line. Then we have the pressure pipe from some pit, because all the drain pipe, waste pipe, soil pipe, all these balcony drain, all these pipes are coming to the basement area or the ground area. There we will have the, if you have the holding tank, then you have to provide the sump pit. Then this sump pit line will be connected with the existing network, like that. Then we have the parking drain pipe, because we have the podium level parking and other thing. We have the basement parking, we have the podium level parking for the super high-rise building, which needs the parking drain pipes. We will see how to design the number of parking drain, how to consider the, I mean, the location of the parking drain in the parking area, how to decide what is the maximum coverage area of one parking drain, I mean the catch basin, and all these things we will discuss. Holding tank vent pipe. If you have the holding tank in the super high building, because some standard will not allow to discharge directly into the existing municipality due to the flooding in the rain time also. So that's the reason sometimes the local standard will say you tell you to go for the holding tank with at least 1 day storage capacity, depends on the local codes. Then the firefighting drain pipe also, like we have the zone control wall, we have the alarm check wall. In the fire pump room, the drain will be a drain pipe. Then we have the test drain, from each floor we, then the remote location we have a test drain. Then we have the flushing connection. So this type of drain also will be connected in the drainage system. Then we have the rainwater pipe. Finally it is going to the existing municipality, or it will go to the holding tank. So these are the different kind of arrangements we need to consider for the drainage system. So in this complete series of this drainage system design and installation, what I am planning to cover to see what is the pipe sizes, how to consider the pipe sizes, how to plan the shaft location, how to plan the shaft sizes. So this all the rules we are going to discuss in the coming videos. So today video I am going to explain about the basic, because as a plumbing engineer you have to have some basic idea about how the systems are working, why we are going with vent pipe, what is flow trap seal, all this basic. So first thing, in this image you can see there are 10-story building we have. In the floor number 7, let's say that there is a flushing is happening in the floor number 7. And what will happen from floor 8 to 10? Let's say we have a water closet in the floor number 7. The water closet is used and we flush the water. So what will happen, I mean the positive or negative pressure, what will happen? So the red arrow is explained here is the negative pressure. So when you flush the water, the negative pressure will be acting in from the higher floor from 8 to 10. Because of the negative pressure, if you have any fixer, for example, let's say you have the water closet, you have the wash basin, you have the flow trap here, for example. So because of the negative pressure, this area, it will create the negative vacuum in this area. So this is called cell siphonage. Then we have the green arrow, you can see in the bottom area, green arrow. From the bottom floors, all this floor, it will create the positive pressure. I mean the compression will happen below the flush water, which can bubble or below trap seal. Suppose you have one flow trap here. When the positive pressure is happening, it will try to push the flow trap seal. So both the negative case and positive case, there is a chance that the flow trap seal will be broken, and there is a chance that the foul gases will be discharged into the room, which will create the foul smell in the room. Then we have the dasher line, that is the vent pipe. This is the dash line, this is the vent pipe. So these are the three different arrangements we have for any kind of thing. So as I told you, the negative pressure or the suction or vacuum zone, just behind the falling water column, the air inside the stack is pulled downwards. As I told, from 8th to 10th floor, the air inside the stack is pulled downwards. This creates a suction effect. Like you can see the drinking through a straw, it will create one suction effect. If traps are nearby, for example, you have the wash basin, you have the water closet very near to this 8th, 9th, 10th floor, what will happen? This suction can pull water out of the trap. So the trap seal will be broken. When the trap seal is broken, this is called as a self siphonage. So because of this one, the foul smell will come to the room. And what about the positive pressure, which is below, means so first floor to 6th floor? What will happen when the falling water hits beds? Like you can say at the base of the stock, it pushes the air forward. This creates back pressure in the lower floor. This pressure can blow trap water upwards or bubble it. Again, it will break the seal. So this is normally we call the negative pressure as a self siphonage. So as I mentioned, even though self siphonage is less likely in water closet, because in the water closet normally you know that the seal is very higher compared with other seal. Like if you see the wash basin, shower, you have very small amount of seal, we have flow trap seal. But in the water closet the seal amount is very high. Still what happen if you have if the flushing is happening for the multiple water closet in the same time, again there is a chance that this issue will happen. I mean the negative and the positive pressure will happen. To avoid this one, we are going with the vent pipe. So vent pipe, what it is actually doing, the vent pipe act like a breathing tube for the drainage system, keeping pressure balanced. So when suction is created, the air is drawn from the vent pipe instead of sucking water out of the trap. When positive pressure build up, the excessive air is released through the vent pipe. So this is the reason. First, now we understand why we need vent pipe for the soil and waste pipe. Okay, so this is the basic. So this is what I again explain. Whatever I explained now, I have just summarized step by step how it is happening. The negative and the positive pressure is built up in the system. Okay, now coming to the velocity. The velocity range normally 0.7 to 2 meter per second is widely used in the plumbing and drainage standard. So if you see the British standard BSCN 12056 to 2000 gravity drainage system inside the building, part 2, that is for the sanitary pipework and layout and calculation, which recommends that minimum velocity 0.7 meter per second to prevent sedimentation and maximum velocity of 2 meter per second to avoid excessive noise and pipe wear. And similarly, if you go to SIPC Guide G and UK, there are plenty of laws are there. So if you see the UK water bylaws or the SIPC Guide G, the typical vertical stock velocity 0.7 to 2 meter per second for residential and commercial stock ensures this will ensure the self-cleansing flow. I mean the minimum self-cleansing velocity of 0.7 meter per second we have to consider. Okay, so this is the thing we are going to see. So now we just completed the very basic. In the coming videos, we will explain how to making the sizing of the piping and with some example. And there are plenty of rules. We are going to see what are the fittings you need to use, what fitting you should avoid, particularly in the connections and horizontal connection, vertical connection, how to size the vent pipe. So in the super high building, there are plenty of challenges we are going to see. So we will discuss one by one in the coming videos. So please don't skip any part. Every part is important for us. We will meet again in the next video. Thank you.